Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle, and it's called Dutch Flatmates, first seen odd slash even by Flinty. And here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 so that they do not repeat in any row, column, or 3x3 box. We also have Dutch flatmates, where every 5 in the grid must have a 1 directly above it or a 9 directly below it. It may have both, but it doesn't need both. It just needs one of these at least. And that's how Dutch flatmates work. We also have first seen odd even, where clues outside the grid tell you the first odd or first even digit seen in that row or column, looking from the direction where the clue appears. For example, row 4 could have any number of leading odd digits, but the leftmost even digit must be a 2. So as an example, you could have something like 1372, and that would be valid. What you could not have is something like 1872, because then the leftmost digit would not be a 2, which this clue is saying it is, right? It's saying the first even digit it sees is a 2, and this is not 2, obviously. It could even be something like 51379, and that's 2. That would be valid. But what even if this were just 2 here, but this was an 8, that would not be valid because the first even digit it sees in this direction is not a 2. And those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, so the one that I see is in column 1, actually column 1, yeah, column 1, 2, 8, and 9. The 5 is the first digit that is seen. So they cannot have a 1 above it because that's an odd digit, and the first odd digit it sees is a 5. So all of these 5s must have a 9 directly below it. We just don't know where the 5 and the 9 is. So the 5 and the 9 have to be together here. Here, the first digit seen odd from the right side going to left is 1. So these cannot be odd because the first odd digits, columns 8 and 9c, are 5, and that does not match. So these have to be even. This could be 1, this could be 1, this could be 1. So 1 has to be one of these 3. We're not sure which. Right, because the first odd digit seen, if it's here, that would mean 4 other odd digits would have to be seen in 3 cells, which is not allowed. So these are, one of these 3 is a 1. We're not sure which. How about here? No, there's nothing related to that. First even digit seen is an 8. So 8, I think, well, you could have 3 odds here. Okay. In columns 4 and column 6, we have a 2 seen. You cannot have one of them, it cannot be 2 and 2, obviously. So one of them has to have 3 of them seen, right? Because otherwise you'll have two twos in this cage, which is not allowed. So one of them has to go outside the cage. So that would be three blues and a 2. 3 blues and a 2. And this is 2, right? So we're guaranteed that we need 3 blues here and 1 blue here, or 3 blues here and 1 blue here. So these are all odd. They have to be. These 2 must be even, right? Because you have either all 3 evens here, which makes this a 2, as Oh, wait. No, other way around. 3 odds. Okay, never mind. So the 2 does have to be one of these. You have to have 3 odds here, which forces 2 to potentially to be here. So this would be 3 odds, and you could have any number of evens here. But you can have at most 2 odds here. So 3 odds, 2 odds, and this is 2. Or 3 odds, 2 odds, and this is 2. Or 3 odds, no odds, this is 2. 1 odd also works, so... So one of these is all 3 odds. We're not sure which. So 2 cannot appear here. That's all we know. 2 has to be one of either here or here. And then the other one has to be here or here. So in columns 4, 6, the 2 can be either here or here. That means in column 5, the 2 has to be one of these digits here. 8 can be... Uh... 4 has to be one of these 5. Actually, it'd be 6. 2 has to be one of these 6, but 2 cannot be either of these. So 2 is one of these 3, or it's this one. 8 could be here. Five. Okay. It cannot be even here, because then that would force 5 to be both of these cells, because those would both be odd, and they would have to be the first odd. The 5 does have to push outside of this. So we know we have 2 evens here. One of these must be even. Okay. At least one of these is even. Okay, so for box 3, both of these are even because they can't be the first odd digit, because that would force it to be 5 and 1 at the same time, which is obviously not allowed. But if you have a 5 in this box, can you ever have 5 outside this, multiple times outside this box? And the answer is no. Because that would force these to be even and these to be even, and you would have 6 evens in box 9. Yeah, box 9. So this must be 3 evens here and 1 here, and then 1 in the here, which would force 5 and 9 to be here, or 5 and 9 to be here. And that would force the other 5 and 9 to be here and here. Right? Because you can only have 4 evens in a box. So that would be 3, that would be 4, therefore these would all be odd then. So these are all odd. Therefore this is 1. These can't be 1. We know either these are even and this is 5, 9. Or these are even and this is 5, 9. So this has to be 1, 3, and 7 here. The 5 needs to have a 9 above it. Sorry, a 1 above it or a 9 below it. Can't have the 1 above it, so this must be a 9 below it. So one of these is 5, and then one of these is 9. One of these is 5, and one of these is 9. There has to be an even digit here. So this must be 8 and 9 specifically. This is... So one of these must be even. We don't know which. 5 has to be here, which means the 5 cannot be here. So the 5 is either here or it's here. If it's here, that forces a 9 to be here. But you can have at most 4 evens, and 5 would have to be here, and then 9 would be here. Right, 5 can't be here, 5 can't be here. So the 5 outside of box 1 has to be in row 5, right? So it needs 4 pushing it, 4 evens essentially pushing it. And this cannot be 5 here, so it has to be 5 and 9. So this is odd and one even, and one of these is a 5. So one of these is a 5, which forces this to be 9. One of these has to be 5, which forces that to be 9. Oh, 9 cannot be the first digit here. So if this were 9 and 5, that would not work. So 9 must be here. Since this is odd, this needs another odd in front of it, which is 7. So this must be odd, and this 5. This has to be even, which forces both of these to be odd. So this is 5. We don't know what that is. This has to be 8 as the first even digit seen in that direction. This is 5 and 9. This can't be 5. Where is the 5 then in column 7? Cannot be here. It has to be one of these. And the 9 is the first digit seen. So 5 has to be one of these two. 9 has to be one of these two. These are all even because you cannot have a 5 or a 9 there. And you already have 1, 3, 7 already taken care of. This is 2, 4, and 6. This has to be odd no matter what. So it cannot be 2. So this is 5 or 9, right? Because if that's 5, this has to be 9. If this is not 5, that has to be a 5. So it has to be some combination. 4 must be either here or here. We cannot have in row 6 2 evens here because that would force 5 evens in box 4. So 1 has to be one of these two. 3 also must be one of these 3. That's interesting. So this can't be 3 because if it were 3, that would force that 1 would not be the first odd digit seen this direction. Nine cannot be this one. So this must be 5 and 9 here. These are both odd. This must be odd, and it must see 7 as the first digit. Since this can't be 7 anymore, this can't be odd. So this is even. This has to be 4 even digits to be not seen as the first odd. So this must be 5 and 9, and these must be odd. These rest of these digits are odd, so this can't be 4 here. One of we don't know. You have 3 even digits here. This is an even digit, so none of these can be 2. This is odd. 7, 9. This can't be 4. Could be 2 is either one of these two. We're not sure which. Oh, this is odd, so this must be 7, which makes this a 1, 3 pair. 3 cannot be the first odd seen here, and this is a 1, 3 pair. Therefore, we can't have a 1 or a 3 here. So 3 cannot be any of these, which means these are all even, which forces both of these to be odd. Therefore, all of these are even. Therefore, this is a 2, because it's the first even digit seen. This can't be 4. This is the first even digit seen in this direction, so this is a 4. 4 can no longer be any of these. 2 cannot be here, because that would just see 3 even digits in row 8. So 2 has to be one of these two. These have to be a 5, 9, cannot be, whoa, oh, we got a problem. We have a problem here. Yeah, this has to be 5 and 9, but this 5, 9 pair here says that's not. Huh. That's a problem. That's a very big problem. I think the logic is sound. I mean, I guess it probably isn't because it can't be. Huh. Why is that logic not sound? Yeah, these are guaranteed to have a 9 directly below it because you cannot have a 1 above it for any of these. So it has to have a 9 directly below it. This has to be 5 and 9 here. You cannot have a 5 here. If you tried to have a 5 here, that would force a 9 here. And you can only get 4 evens, which would make this 5 and 9. And therefore, there would be... You have to have 5 and 9 here, essentially. I think that's guaranteed. This can't be 9 as the first odd digit. Huh. This is problematic. I think it has to be this way, right? But then this is problematic because it says 7 is the first odd digit. We know we have a 9 in one of these two cells. This can't be 9. So this can't be a 5 above it. So this has to be a 5, 9 here, which means this has to be 5 and 9 here. Which means all of these are even. So these are odd. So the rest are odd. But then this becomes 1, 3, 7. And where's the 5 and 9? 5 and 9 has to be... why is this breaking here? My logic must be wrong somewhere. The 5 is the first digit seen going this way. So 1 cannot be above it. 9 has to be below it in all of those columns. Which guarantees that 5 cannot be here, because if 5 is here, then 9 has to be there. And then the 5 outside of the box, of the first box, has to have a 9 directly below it, but you can only have 4 evens. I think that logic makes sense. What am I missing? Uh, oh, okay. I see it. Okay. That's interesting. This doesn't have to have a 5 here. Right? Okay. So it does have to have 5 here and 9 here because the first odd digit has to be 1. So those are both even. And you can only have 2 evens. Again, you can't have 5 and 9 this way because the other 5 outside has to have a 9 below it. But this is not guaranteed to have a 5 in one of these two because you could have 4 digits here. And in fact, that's probably what it has to be. So you have to have 5 either be there or there. 9 is one of these 4. 5 cannot be here because that would force a 9 here. And then the other 5 can only have 4 evens above it. And the 9 would have to be here. So 5 has to be one of these 4 for the same reasoning as this cage. And then 9 has to be one of these 4. So 5 has to be then here with the 9 here. This cannot be 9. This cannot be 5 or 9 because that would be the first odd digit seen in that direction. Therefore, 5 cannot be here because the 9 would not be below it, and 9 cannot be here because the 5 would not be directly above it, and this 5 needs a 9 directly below it. So this can't be 5 or 9. Therefore, this must be a 5 or 9 here, which means this can't be 5 or 9. These are even. So this must be 5 here and 9 here. These are both odd. 5 and 9 cannot reach here. Therefore, in column 3, we need a 5 and a 9 in column 3. And they can't be here, they can't be here, because these both require a 5 and 9 in box 1 and box 4. So 5 and 9 have to be here, and they cannot be the first odd digit seen, so this must be odd. This is 3. If a 5 were here, a 9 would be above it, so that doesn't work. So you have to have 5 here and 9 here, and these are odd. So this is guaranteed this way. This can't be even, because if it were even, it'd have to be both 4 and... Well, no, that's not true. This could be 4 with that being 6, so that's fine. So this is 593, which means if we had 4 digits here, making this 5 and 9, that would not work. So this cannot be 5 specifically, and this can't be 9. Because of that, the 9 has to be one of these 2 digits. This can't be 5 because the 9 cannot be below it. 5 has to be here, which means this can't be 5. 9 has to be here, which means this can't be 9. So this has to be a 5 and is odd. Therefore, this must be odd and is 7. So this is 5, 7, and 9. This is odd. It cannot be the first odd digit, though, so this is odd here, which makes this a 1. We need a 5 and a 9 here. 9 is the first digit seen. These are all even then. This is still the same. This must be 5, and this has to be 5 or 9. So this is odd no matter what, because the 5 needs to have a 9 directly below it. This 9 eliminates 9 here, so this is a 5, which makes this a 9. And this is odd. This can't be odd. This is even. So one of these 2 is even. That's not true. Okay. So 5 has to be one of these 3 digits. It needs a 1 above it. If this were 5, it would not be possible. So 5 has to be one of these 2, which means 1 has to be one of these 2. Therefore, at least all 3 of these are even, because the 1 cannot be in this box. 1 can't be here, so therefore 1 has to be here, which makes this odd. All of these are odd. So that forces 2 to be here. So 2 cannot be any of these. 2 can't be here, which means 2 is one of these 3. This still could be 4. This is 4, 6, and 8 here. 2 cannot be here, because 2 is one of the first digits here. Therefore, all of these are odd. 2 has to be here. And 4, 6, and 8 is here. 8 has to be one of these cells here, because it's the first even digit seen. 5 and 7 are here. 5 and 9 are here. 5 and 9 are here. That's fine. 7 has to be one of these 2, because it's the first odd digit seen. So all the 5s, will mark those as pink. 4 could... Okay, so this cannot be 4, obviously. This is odd. We have 2 evens at most here, so this can't be 4. So 4 is one of these 3 digits. You cannot have... So this cannot be... Well, it could be even if this is even. This can't be 6. Can this be 6? Yes. So in column 1, 6 has to be one of these two. Because you can only have 2 odd digits here in box 7 at most. So 6 either has to be here or here. Okay. Okay, we don't have anything else here. 5 has to be one of these two. At least one of these is even. This has to be 3, 5, 7, 9. Oops. This can't be 5 and this can't be 9. The 5 here cannot have the 1 above it, so it must have the 9 directly below it. So either this is 5 or this is 5, which means 9 has to be directly below it, so this can't be 9 here. This 5 needs a 1 directly above it. 7 has to be one of these two, so 7 has to be one of these 4. We also have to have a 5 and a 1 here. 7 can be here or one of these 3. We're not sure. 2 can be 1, 2, 3. So 2 cannot be here. 2 could be here or here. Oh, 2 can't be here. So 2 has to be one of these 3. 5 is the first. This has to be even. So we have 4 evens in box 6, so this must be odd. Therefore, this is 4. This is 2, 6, and 8. This 4 eliminates 4 here. Sorry, this 2, 6, 8 triplet eliminates 2, 6, and 8, which makes that 4. This has to be 2, 6, and 8, which makes this a 4. The rest of these are odd. So this cannot be 2. Here we have 5 odds in box 7, so these are all even, which forces this to be 2. So 2 cannot be here. We have 3 odds here. This is at most than 3 evens, so 4 cannot be here. This is 2. This has to be 3 because it's the only odd digit remaining. This is a 6-8 pair then. 4 eliminates 4 here. This is a 6-8 pair, which eliminates 6 and 8 in the rest of the column. So this must be 4 here. This is 9. This is 1, 9, 7, 4. 2 is one of these. This cannot be 2 then. This can't be 2. Where is the 2 in box 6? It must be here. So this is 2. This cannot be 1 or 9. That doesn't tell us much. So 9 has to be one of these two. 9 has to be here. That means where is the 9 in row 4? It must be one of these 3. We know this is one of these is a 5 because it cannot be 5 here. So this can't be 5 then, which means this can't be 9 because we need the 5 above this 9 in column 4. So this is 5, this is 9, which means this can't be 9. This could still be 8. This is 9, so this is a 5. We have a 5 with a 9 below it there, 5 with a 9 below it there. That's all the... No, we have one more 5. So this 5 cannot have a 9 below it, but it could have a 1 above it. So the 5... Okay, 5 cannot be here because this is 5. So that means 5 has to be here, which means the 9 has to be below it. So 9 has to be here. This has to be 1, 3, or 7. This cannot be 1. This can't be 7 because one of these two is a 7. The 1 has to be here to be above the 5. This 5 has to have a 9 above it. Okay. 3 cannot be here because of the 3 in the row. Okay, what are the possibilities for these cells? Obviously, it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This can't be 3 or 9. This can't be 1 because, and this can't be 9. This can't be 5 because of the 5 in the row. This can't be 5. This can't be 1 because 1 in the box has to be one of these two cells. This cannot see 5 odd digits here, so the 7 cannot be here. So 7 has to be one of these 3. We have 5 and 9 here. 1 has to be one of these 3. This must then be a 1, 2, 5 triplet. Because those are the only digits that are possible there. So this is 1, 2, and 5. Obviously, this can't be 5. This... We don't know. This has to be 6, 7, and 8 remaining. 8 cannot be here because 8 is one of these digits. So that's possible. Remaining digits in row 5 are 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. And 9 cannot be either of these, or there. Or 3 cannot be here. Therefore, this is always even. Okay. Good to know. 8 can't be here, because 8 has to be one of these 3. This has at least 2 evens here. Well, not sure. We have a 3, 7, 3, 7 pair. We have a 9 here. This has to be odd. Because if it's even, what even could it be? We can't have 2 because of the 2 in the row, and it can't be 4, 6, 8 because of the 4, 6, 8 triplet in the box. So this must be odd. Since this is odd, we have now 5 odds in row 8. So these two must be even. Since this is even, since this is even, this must be a 4. It's the first even digit seen. Therefore, this must be even to be the first digit seen here, which is 6. So this can't be 6 here. One of these 2 is 7. One of these 3 is 7. This can't be 2, 4, or 6 because of the 4, 6 in the box, 2 in the row. So this is 8, which makes this 6, which makes that 8, which makes this 6, which makes that 8. We are missing a 2. This has to be 1, 3, or 7 as a possibilities. Oh, 7 cannot be here because of the 7s in the row. One of these has to be 7. This is 6 and 4, so that eliminates 4 and 6 here. This 8 eliminates 8 here. This cannot be 3 even digits, because if this is 3 even digits, that's 5 even digits in column 1. So this must be the 5 and 9 here. So these are odd, which means this can't be 5. This has to be a 5 here, which makes this 9 here. This must be 3 even digits. And that eliminates even digits in the rest of the column because we already have one even digit. So these are all odd. These are odd, and this is odd. Which means in box 7, we have 5 odd digits, so this must be even. So this is a 2. This is 7 as the first odd digit. This is odd, but not 7. This can't be 3, 5, 7, or 9, so this is 1. This is 3. 7 has to be in front of the 3 to be the first odd digit, so this is 7. This 3 eliminates 3 here. This can't be 9, this is 8. This can't be 5, so this is even. This can't be 8. This can't be 8, obviously, so 3 is one of these two. This is 8. These have to both be even because one of these two is odd. Because one of them has to be 1. This 2 eliminates 2 here, so this is 1, which makes this 2. So this is odd. We have 4 evens in column 1, so this is odd and is a 3. This is even as a 2. This must be even because this is the last. We have 5 odds in box 6. This must be 2, 4, and 6 here. This can't be 4. So we have 2 or 6 here. This 3 eliminates 3 here, so this is 7, which makes this 3, which makes this 7, which makes that 3. 2 cannot be here. And we have 4 evens here, so this must be odd, which forces this to be even, which makes this 2. So the 5 has to be here. This 1 eliminates 1 here, so it's 7, 3, and 1. None of these could be 3. The 5 needs a 1 above it. This is the pink, so we need a 1 above it, which makes that 7. This becomes a 3-9 pair. We have a 5 directly here, so this cannot be 5. Which means the 5 in box 5 has to be here. So this is 5. It needs a 1 above it, which it can't have, or a 9 below it. So this must be 9, which makes this 3. This can't be 3. That means this has to be a 3 here, which makes this even. Since this is even, it needs an even digit in front of it to be an 8. So this is 8. This cannot be 8. This is a 6 or 7 pair, which eliminates 6 and 7 in the rest of the box. So this is 4. Which makes a 6, which makes that 4. 8 eliminates 8 here, so it's 6 and 8. This is 8 and 4. This could still be 2. I think that's all the 5s, right? So this 5 is pink. This 5 is pink. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. 1s. Not limited enough. 3s, we have all the 3s. 7. Okay, we have 8 7s. We know where the last 7 has to be. It has to be here. So this has to be a 1-8 pair here. We don't know which one's which. 5s, we have all the 5s. 9s, we have 8 9s, so we know where the last 9 has to be. Right? It has to be here. So this is 9 and odd. Now we have 5 odds in row 1, so this must be even. This 7 eliminates 7 here, so this is 6, this is 7, this is even, and this must be odd. Therefore, we have 2 evens left in column 6, and this must be the first even, so this is 2, this is 6. That eliminates 2 here and 6 here. This can't be 6, this can't be 2. This is 2, 6, or 8, but this can't be 2 or 6, so this must be 8, which means this can't be 8. We have 1 and 4 remaining in column 5. The first, okay, this has to be 8 because it's the first even digit seen. This 8 eliminates 8 here, so it's 1 and 8. 8 eliminates 8 here, 6 and 2, which makes this 6, 4, and 2. Therefore, this is the last odd. This is even. This odd means this has to be even, which makes this odd. And that makes that 1, and this is a 4. Thank you for playing. Thank you for setting. Yeah, this wasn't that hard as long as, yeah, I got stuck in that trap here. I don't, yeah, that was a pretty bad assumption to make. Um, yeah. Yeah, because it's specifically related to columns, right? So just because there's three here does not, there's four evens here already, does not mean this can't be even. So that was a pretty bad assumption to make there. Fortunately, yeah, it was basically resolved by I didn't get lucky, and I realized that I had a problem there. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. It's not hard. This was not, that challenging. I would say it's in between easy and challenging. It's just that you had to make sure that you didn't mess up here, essentially. Everything else sort of flows naturally, but this is the one tricky spot here. Uh, well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.